So this is my rock star. You know, sometimes I don't have this anymore because of what I told you.
Yes.
Well, I went to the last place in town that has them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a Dollarama, believe it or not. Nothing is a dollar there anymore, of course, but...
Of course.
Yeah, but they had 10 or 12 left, and I bought them all. And I get up to the cashier, and it's this young fella, and he's a ginger like me.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that thing that gingers do. You might not know this, but we
No
sort
clue.
of like scope each other out and decide if we're like, and this all happens in a split second. We decide if we're going to be friends or enemies.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it turns out we were going to be friends today.
Hey, there you go.
So he's like, you know, I can get you cases of that, 12 in a case, for cheaper than anywhere else. And I'm like, oh, really?
How does he do that?
And he's like, well, I could just sell it to you right out of the storage room. And I was like, yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm glad we decided to be friends today. So I got my hookup.
Had you not been friends, Nick,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't be getting none of that sweet nectar.
That's right. That's right. I'd have to start going out of town to get my rock star.
Well, 12 will last you almost 2 weeks.
Oh, it'll last me till the end of the day. No, just kidding. You
Welcome
know.
to the show.
Welcome to the show. Zing.
Man. Zing. Zinga zanga, baby.
You got to have those connections.
You got to have connections, Nick. Listen, you got to have all the things, especially in today's day and age, because, you know,
Yeah,
if you don't have friends in high places, you're in trouble.
that's right. Then you just got friends in low places.
Yeah, I can't. YouTube will get copyright struck.
Yeah, we got enough problems with those guys.
We got enough problem with the old YouTube machine. We can't be
Yeah.
adding to it, Nick.
The non-violent modern mafia is what they are.
It definitely does feel that way.
We didn't pay their insurance money, and now they're busting out our windows every morning.
They really are. Good night.
These guys.
Well, Nick,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's going to think this has been a week this went
Right.
by, but it's actually one day.
One day, 24
One day.
hours.
24 hours, folks, because I've got vacation coming up, and we're going to record next week.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, this will hit the following Friday, and then the Friday that I'm on vacation is we're going to be recording that next week.
Yeah. This is like back when we used to do two-parters and we never knew when things were coming out. Or we knew when things were coming out, but we'd explain them in such a way that it was incredibly confusing for everyone.
I'll be honest, this is more stressful for me.
Oh, because it's like week to week?
Yeah, because it's like, what if something happens, or what if there's a corrupted file, or what if all these what ifs?
If something happens, I just go live.
That's fair.
Yeah, I like if you had to go away and we didn't have an episode, I just record an hour of me just ranting and raving
That would
about
work.
things. Yeah.
That would work. Hey.
I open all my blind boxes at once. I'm just like tearing into them like a piranha.
Man, I'll hold you to it, Nick.
Yeah.
Don't make me hold it to you.
I really want to, but then I'll have to go buy like more every week.
I was sitting there looking. I got this tea, not sponsored, by the way.
Right.
Not sponsored. And the way they make the bottle, there's like this weird effect. Like, I don't know that I can make it do this weird effect. It's almost like when it's sitting down on the table, it's like there's a bubble inside, like a big bubble.
Oh, I don't see it.
Now it just looks like certain scenes in that zombie movie. So I'm going to put that down. I don't want anyone clicking away because they think a doggone zombie movie's going on.
Some people like zombie movies.
Whew. Are we doing a break again, Nick?
We sure as heck are. I've got one ready
Oh.
right. Oh, whoa.
Oh.
I want to see what the next monster is. I'm going to let you go first this time, though.
Okay.
It's only fair.
It's
only
listen,
fair.
I'm not even going to let you choose. I'm just going to grab this pack right here.
All right.
And it's not one that's open. So we're already ahead.
Oh, yeah.
We're already ahead. I'm always scared.
So do
this
we
one's
know
gonna
what
be-
the rarest card in this is?
No.
Okay.
I know there's autographs in there, and there's like prop things from scenes. So by that, my understanding is like if there was a poster in the background, they may have cut it up and they may have put part of the poster.
Ah, that would be wicked.
Yeah, like a section of the poster or something. So these usually have a pretty cool thing. All right. So first off, we have, I don't think there's anything cool, like cool, because I can see. Anyway, we got Karen.
Oh, a little disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know who the heck Karen is. Who was Karen?
It's like one of the mums. One of the ones you never see very much, really.
Sorry, Karen. But then we have Will. Everyone knows Will.
Yeah, not my favorite.
Yeah, Will was kind of.
He might do big things in the next season, though.
He might. And then we got I'm Sorry, Billy. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, this is the scene.
Oh.
Where she's sitting outside the grave, and that's before she got snapped up, boys.
That's one of my favorite scenes, really.
Really?
Because it's a little emotional, and then it starts playing that song "Running Up the Hill," which turned out I really liked.
Yeah.
Do do do.
He didn't know until he saw that scene.
I never heard that song in my life.
Really? Never?
No, not once. I swear to you.
Well, this is Dustin. It's kind of hard to see Dustin here. People say Hawkins is cursed. They're not way off.
Ain't that a fact? Good old Dusty.
And then the back of the card on this one has more stuff about Dustin Henderson. So kind of a cool card.
Yeah, that one's kind of neat. He's one of the cooler characters.
Then we got, does SOS count? For anyone that doesn't know, this is the scene when they're in the upside down and they're trying to communicate back and forth on the walkies, I think.
Okay, that's pretty neat.
And then,
wait, is it good or bad?
It's sad.
Oh.
Some people would say it's good. I still feel bad. This one says, goodbye, Papa. And it's when 11 is there with our boy.
Yeah.
Some people would not be sad about that. Kind of a sad scene.
It's half and half. Every death is sad.
Every death is sad. So that's all I got. Listen, nothing to write home about in that one, Nick. Sorry.
That's okay. We're gonna go big. It's gonna be real disappointing if we get the same one. But I'd like to ask you again. What do you think we're gonna get here?
I think we're gonna get. I think this is a good one, Nick. I think it's gonna be second row, fourth one. Is that Phantom of the Opera? Is that what that is? 1 in 72?
Yes.
There we go. I think it's going to be Phantom of the Opera. I think you're going to get a good one.
I'm feeling Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I wish I would have got a lot more of these kind because I want them all.
It's the way it always is, Nick.
Yeah. I keep forgetting how addicted I can get to blind box openings.
It happens real easy.
Toss that back in there. Open the box. Oh, it's so exciting.
So exciting.
And it's stuck. I guess I opened that incorrectly.
Let's see if we can figure out what it feels like through the bag. Little ASMR action.
Ooh. Oh, I do like this one, but I think we're both wrong.
Dang it, Nick. We can't be wrong. We're psychics.
Well, we were yesterday.
Well, half of us was.
Whoa. It's not what I thought it was.
No. The heck is that?
He's the Invisible Man. What's his
the
rarity?
Invisible Man. How rare is that?
24.
Ooh, 1 in 24. That's good.
That's really cool. Look at him. He's like see-through. That
is kind of cool. See the way the camera hit it? It almost looked like it was brown, not translucent.
If it was brown, that's the rarest one there is.
Oh.
So you can go back there with the green mummy.
That's right. Doggone green mummies, boys.
Well, that was exciting. I'd like to open another one, but
we got to wait till next Monday. Nick, think about it. After this Monday, you're going to have to wait 2 more weeks to open another one.
That's what you think. I'm just going to be opening. I'm just going to dig right in.
He's going to send me a video. Hey, I couldn't wait. I opened this one, but I recorded it. Just pretend like you were there.
Yeah, because like there's only one more. Hold on. It's only one more big box left, and then we got a bunch of the little ones. Ooh. And that other big box is a Stranger Things one.
Oh, I already know what that one's going to be, Nick.
Oh, yeah? What one?
Yeah, it's going to be our plant thing. What
Demogorgon or whatever?
Demogorgon. That's it. It's going to be a Demogorgon.
I'd like to get that.
100% Demogorgon. I got Jess one of those mystery Netflix balls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like 5 different items in it. I picked it up. It was this last weekend. And when I picked it up, it was I've bought them for before. And usually it's like generic stuff. Like it's never really good.
Right.
But it had a sword this time, a miniature sword from, I forget what it was from. I can't remember. Maybe it was Game of Thrones, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But it was like a ultra rare is what it said.
Oh, that's nice. So, you got good luck then.
Yeah, I got real lucky. I mean, the last 3 I got 4 not so lucky, but that one was lucky.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it fun. If you get good things every time, it's not.
It wouldn't be no fun.
No kind of gamble there. It's all about gambling addiction that we're developing.
That is true. I did get in that one. It did have little small miniatures like action figures.
Mm-hmm.
But the boxes are maybe like an inch, maybe an inch and a half big.
Okay.
But it was the Stranger Thing characters. I think one of them, Will or Steve, maybe. Okay. And there was another one. I can't remember. I also got my daughter a Disney one.
Yeah.
And it had a miniature book and every page was wrote out, but it was a miniature book.
Really? That's neat.
Mm-hmm. It was super cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was just killing it. Listen, I was just killing it this weekend. Listen, everything was a success. I got my daughter a pound puppy one. She was ecstatic.
Oh, pound puppies are still a thing?
Well, I think they came back out like last year or year before last. So they're making a revisit.
Everything is getting that treatment these days.
Everything. Literally everything. Though, I did buy that Polaroid camera for our trip coming up. I'm going to use it on vacation so I get used to taking photos again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of excited about that making a return.
Have you tried it out at all?
Yes.
Oh, have they come out really good?
They came, for Polaroid photos. I think everyone that looks at them is kind of like, well, there's this or that. I thought about if we capture some really good photos, maybe we could do like a giveaway.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Of like one photo. And I don't know. I'll think about it.
This photo is a half-open bathroom door.
Look at this pareidolia shot.
Right. This one is an orb amongst a bunch of dirt floating around in the air.
That's facts. You know what? It does have a flash too, so we probably could get some sweet orb action.
Yeah. That's the lowest bar of the paranormal ladder.
Not some paranormal channels, Nick. That's top shelf
some
right there,
people
buddy.
love that stuff. As soon as I hear that, my ears fold in on themselves and I'm done listening.
It's a definitely for me, it's not something that I get super stoked about.
Yeah.
We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I don't want to haunt a house as a dust speck for all eternity.
No. Ain't no one got time for that, Nick.
You ain't gonna scare anyone that way.
No. Can't scare nobody with some dust specks. Losers.
I know, right?
Man, so what else is going on, Nick? What else you got, man? Well, what's happening with you? It's only been a day.
Yeah,
good night.
There's not really any more new life news, but I'll tell you, some things you were talking about last night got me to thinking.
Oh, snap. Okay.
So, well, it was just yesterday, so you should remember this.
I would hope.
That orb that they found.
Yes. The Buga Sphere.
Yeah. So the sphere, I got thinking a lot about that and how we got talking about it looks like a little microchip, and we got talking about quantum computing and how this thing just happens to show up when we're right on the verge of quantum computing and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like it could be some kind of brain interface or something like that to do with that.
Yep.
So I was thinking about it, and I'm like, what extra purpose could they have for contacting us on the edge of quantum computing? So I got looking online and reading things. And one of my favorite topics came up again, which is the Fermi paradox. Like, if there's life everywhere, why aren't we hearing it? Why isn't it hearing us? All that kind of stuff. Well, they speculate, and this is not something new. This is something that people have been talking about for a while, but I don't think it comes up in regular conversation very much because quantum computing is new for the average folk.
Yep.
But they said quantum communication is the most likely method of communication amongst advanced spacefaring civilizations in the universe. Quantum communication, which would be done with quantum computing, because while radio signals can travel fast, quantum signals could potentially travel beyond the speed of light because they could be instantaneously traveling because of different quantum states. So they said, we don't hear anything and they don't hear us, because the comparison would be, can you tell me how many Morse code signals are going across copper wire in the world right now?
No.
Have you heard any lately?
Nope.
Are you not using a copper wire Morse code signal machine?
Nope.
How come?
They don't really exist in my world.
Yeah, the reason being is we got better communication technology, so we're not listening on the old ones. We're expecting them to be picking up radio signals. Why? No one in the universe would be communicating that way.
That's valid. I didn't even, that's deep. That's deep, Nick. Listen, I didn't think of that.
Well, I wish this was my idea, but it's really not. It's been floating out there for a while as one of the great solutions to the Fermi paradox.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing arrives on the verge of our quantum computing. Maybe it's the key to quantum communication so that we can join the community of the wider universe.
I just want everyone to make a note of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Nick thought about last night.
Right.
And I hypothesized about.
Yeah.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I thought, what if that Saphir plugs into like another thing that's like really long, and it's like Flight of the Navigator, and the thing opens up and there's an eyeball.
I remember that movie.
He's like, hey, Flippo, oink, oink, 2 minute Twinkies. Like, that's what I was thinking about, folks. Like, Nick's coming up with all this quantum stuff. I'm sitting here thinking, that looks a lot like that eyeball from Fly of the Navigator.
I watched that when I was a kid and I found it scary.
Really? Fly of the Navigator?
Yeah, and I watched it as an adult and I still find it scary.
There was a movie that I was enamored with as a kid. I saw it at my grandparents' house, of all places.
Oh, interesting.
And it was on television, and I think it was like a Disney movie. I found it somewhere. Where did it? We was on vacation one year, and I was talking about it. I can't remember the name of it, but the entire movie was about this ghost girl and this boy. He went to like this place, and he found her. And I, as a little kid, I had a crush on the little girl, and she would sit there and sing, Frère Jacques, don't me. And I'm like, that could be my girlfriend. And that's the only time I've seen that movie, is that one time. But whenever I tell people about that movie, they're like, we have no clue what you're talking about. And in fact, I'm going to look it up.
That song is, if you translate to English, it's Brother Jack, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping?
Well, I thought it was, are you there?
No, Dormez-vous is like, are you sleeping?
See, I just learned something right there. I always thought that song translated to Are You There? That's what I always thought it was. Huh. This is why we have these conversations, folk.
The next part, I have no idea what they're saying because everyone just says the next part like really quick, and I don't think anyone knows what the next part is.
I definitely do not. That's the only part of that song I can remember.
La, 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 whatever they're saying there, I have no idea.
Well, this movie was amazing back in the day. Ghost Girl movie, little boy. I'm going to put Disney. I think it was Disney. It might not have been a Disney movie, but oh, there it is. Child of Glass. That's what it's called.
I've never heard of that.
It was originally made for television in 1978 and is based on the novel The Ghost Belonged to Me by Richard Peck.
No, I've never heard of it.
I wonder if... See, here's the problem. Every single time we have moments like this, then I go and look for it, and then I end up buying it because I'm like, I totally want to watch that again.
Maybe it's streaming somewhere.
That's what I was just checking for. Child of Glass. Streaming. I've only seen it one time, but it made an impression.
It sure did. I guess if you remember it all this time later.
Exactly. Then again, I had a crush on, like I say, little ghost girl, and then I felt horrible because I'm like, she's dead. Oh, my girlfriend's going to be dead.
That's necrophilia.
It was rated 4.7 on Amazon, folks.
Out of 5?
Yes.
Oh, that's good then.
That's super impressive. Yeah. With 695 total reviews.
So you weren't the only one with little crush on that girl.
That's right.
I laugh they all say that. All the reviews are like, I had such a crush on that little girl.
I had such a crush. I am curious what all the reviews say now. Customers consider the Disney movie a classic that brings back great memories with a perfect level of creepiness that makes it suitable for children. The cast receives positive feedback. The customers find it worth it for the price.
What's the price?
$22.95.
Is that a DVD?
Yep, DVD of it.
I wouldn't even have a way to play that now.
You don't have a Blu-ray player?
No, all my media is digital.
Oh,
well, I mean, on the internet, I should say.
Everyone, like literally everyone, is like, this is a dose of nostalgia.
I'm going to have to watch this. What was it called again? Child of Glass?
Child of Glass. That's insane.
Look up a little trailer of it.
For the record, that $22.95 is for a used copy. New, $55.95. That's
it doesn't look familiar, but it looks like it could be fun.
It's definitely available for streaming on YouTube also, or Amazon Prime with ads.
Oh, well, I can just go watch it then.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, I found that. I'm like, I fell in love with that. Also, just for the record, somebody asked me today, they said, what's your top 10 favorite movies of all time? And I thought really long and hard about it on lunch. And I compiled my top 10 movies of all time.
Oh, we tried to do this before, but we couldn't do it on the spot.
Yes. But I am ready because I've wrote it down. I feel like this is probably the best list that I've ever done.
Oh, okay.
And everyone's going to say that I'm crazy. Now, just understand, 8, 9, and 10 sometimes will flip off of my scale and something else will come back into it. But today, this is 1 through 10.
I bet I can guess number 1.
You can guess number 1 for sure. What is it, Nick?
The Game.
With Michael Douglas. Best movie of all time. I don't care what no one says. And if you don't agree, fight me. Come fight me.
Open
Number
challenge.
2, A Simple Plan.
A Simple Plan. Okay.
Number 3, The Blair Witch.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like that one opened up
Mm-hmm.
a whole new thought process on found footage films.
Yeah. Started a genre, basically. There were some entries before that.
Yeah, I don't count them.
But it brought it mainstream.
Mainstream, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Paranormal Activity, the first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one too.
5,
mm-hmm.
The Others.
Okay.
6, Signs.
I like that too, but I don't know if it's in my top 10.
I count my top 10 as if it's on television,
right,
would I watch it beginning to end? If I like a movie, but I'm like, I could do without it.
Right.
Can't make it to my top 10.
That's fair. That's fair.
7, Devil.
Is that the modern one or?
No, it's old. It's another M. Night Shyamalan movie where the elevator.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Single location film. Those are hard to pull off.
So hard to pull off, and they did it.
I do remember
masterfully. 8, War of the Worlds.
Mm-hmm. That's in my top 10 for sure.
9, Inception.
Okay.
10, and everyone's going to say I'm stupid, and that's fine. 13, Ghosts.
No, I think a lot of people are going to agree with you. That's getting a TV show, by the way.
Someone told me that, like a mini series.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic.
Or they're going to ruin it. One of the two.
They got to bring back, well, they can't, I guess, because he's dead. But he could be a ghost, Matthew Lillard.
That would be so dope.
Yeah. Can't get enough of seeing Matthew Lillard.
You know who the best of the 13 Ghosts is?
Who?
Who would be your top? I'm just curious now.
The big scary guy with the hammer.
I
like that guy.
By far, he's the best one, dude. He's so scary. I was in a movie theater with an old buddy of mine. I haven't talked to him in probably like 20 years now. Yeah. But we saw that movie in theaters. It was middle of the day. We was supposed to be working and we was not working. You know what? It's longer than 20 years ago. I think I watched it when it came out. If it was in theaters, I think that movie came out in like 98, 99.
You're going to get a call from your boss 20 years ago, like, I want that money back.
I worked for an insurance company and we did door-to-door insurance sales.
Yeah.
But on a lunch, we decided to go to the movie theater and watch it. Anyway, I'll never forget, we was in the theater and that scene came when they're climbing the ladder and that ghost with a hammer was swinging it back and forth. And he was lifting his legs up and screaming. Oh my gosh. That was such a great scene.
That's always the scariest thing. Like if something's just about to get you and they can only reach your legs.
Yes.
That's like the creatures under the bed. Why that's always scary. That's like in movies, you're going up a ladder and something grabs your ankle at the last second. Like that's got to be a primal fear, don't you think?
Oh, 100%. I'm looking now because I can't remember all of the ghosts. That's like the one that I think is the most predominant for me. Isabella Smith. I don't remember that.
There was the bathtub lady that I'm sure a bunch of young kids like seeing.
Bathtub lady.
Yeah, she was all cut up.
Oh, her. I thought she was I didn't think she was a bathtub lady. Was she a bathtub lady?
Maybe I'm getting confused with something else. But she was an unsubscribed victim anyway, I think.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
It says the Isabella Smith was the Pilgrimess, the seventh ghost in the Black Zodiac. Appears as the ghost of a female pilgrim in the or a primitive woman.
Right.
The next one is the Bound Woman. The Firstborn Son.
I remember that guy. That was just weird looking.
Well, he was here, if you remember correctly.
Yeah.
With the arrow. The Angry Princess.
I think that was the unsubscribed victim, the Angry Princess, wasn't it?
I mean, look, I don't know. who couldn't accept how beautiful she was. That has to be the one.
Yeah.
Then there was the dire mother.
Mm-hmm.
Then the hammer. We know the hammer. We can never forget that.
It's just generally a good story. Like,
oh, it's so good. I forgot about this one. This one might be up there, Nick. Mm. The Juggernaut. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I can't believe I forgot. The Withered Lover. No, I think that might be the one.
Oh, that could be.
I can't remember. The Child. The Broken Heart. Kritkos? No clue. I don't know. Now I need to go back and actually rewatch this.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch it again too.
Remember the Jackal?
Mm-hmm. That was supposed to be the scariest one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it wasn't.
No, I didn't think so.
The hammer for me was the scariest one. I think it's because my buddy kept swinging. When they swing the hammer, he kept screaming and lifting his legs up. I'm like, we're not even in the movie.
In his mind, he was. He was in his mind. VR.
I tell you what, he was all about it. It was pretty funny to me, but
can you imagine? You know what they should do? They should do the 13 Ghost experiment or experience on VR.
I tell you what, have you done a lot of those? Have you done a couple of them?
I haven't really done much horror stuff because there's not really a lot of, I don't find most VR experiences to be worth the money.
Oh man.
They're so short.
There's some really good ones. One of them was the Paranormal Activity, and I think it was free.
Oh, really?
There was also the Nun. There was a Nun one. I think that one was free.
I just rewatched the Nun the other day.
That is such a good movie.
Yeah, the first time around, I must have been distracted, but I really enjoyed it the second time around.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some of those movies, you've got to watch them. Like,
yeah.
Full attention, dead on, just going to town, just getting with the story.
I've kind of lost that ability and I'm just sort of rebuilding it now. Because I find it hard to just sit down and focus on a movie.
Yes.
But I enjoy it so much more when I do.
You know, it's hard because we live in a day and age where we're constantly on those cell phones and we can't put something down for 2 hours.
Right. That's why I love to go to the theater.
Yes.
Because you can't do that there. Like,
I mean, you can, but you're a butthole if you do.
Yeah. I mean, they even show you a little cartoon telling you you're a butthole before the movie. So,
and a cartoon of some popcorn and some soda.
Yeah. I remember it used to be all coming soon. There wasn't any regular commercials when you went to the theater here. But we were 25 minutes late and the movie still hadn't started and we still got to watch 3 trailers. So,
oh, wow.
So there's insane. A lot of advertising going on.
You know, if you think about it, back in the day, I bet they probably did 15 minutes of just trailers.
Right.
I can't even remember the last movie I saw that was in a theater.
We pretty much only go when there's horror movies. So, of course, like we talked about yesterday, we went to 28 Years Later, which was a mixed bag. Before that, what was it? Long Legs.
Oh, yeah.
Which I absolutely loved Long Legs.
Jess and I watched it.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Didn't care. It was okay.
Oh, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was just okay for me. And I did watch it all the way through. I tried to do it without being distracted.
Right.
But for some reason, I just could not connect to it.
Interesting.
Don't know why.
Oh, maybe it's a theater watch only one. Maybe you have to be in the theater too.
Sometimes that happens. My favorite things to do was back in the day. And I'm going to go on a tirade here for like 2 seconds.
Bring it on.
Freaking 3D movies when they were in the theater and you had the glasses.
Yeah.
We bought a TV that was the 3D glasses and then the 3D Blu-ray players and blah, blah, blah. They don't even do them anymore, Nick.
No, they don't bother. You know why? They don't do it?
I don't.
Because it doesn't work for most people who have glasses. And they just complained the whole movie and no one wanted to hear it anymore.
Who cares about those people?
Well, someone.
I don't care about them.
I remember I went, like when they were doing a lot of 3 movies, like it looks just fine if you just watch it.
It looks great.
Like if you just watch it even without the glasses, it's just fine.
Yeah.
But I went with, and I think it was more about the people I went with than it was, like, it's not like everyone with glasses is like this, but they just whined and moaned about it the whole movie through.
I would have kicked them out.
Yeah.
Friend or no friend.
They should have been kicked out. They should have
been
kicked
away.
out. Yeah.
Go away. You're no longer friends. In fact, delete my number out your phone. That's what I would have said.
Yeah. Go to the swamp and stay there.
Yeah. Go to Swamp Shrek.
Yeah.
You doggone Shrek.
You have layers like an onion.
That's right. No one wants to sniff those layers. That's weird. I don't know why I said that, but whatever.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
I don't take it back. I don't take nothing back, Nick. So yeah. That's crazy.
I guess. So you know how we were just talking about the primal fear of like you lifting your feet up when you jump on the bed when you're a kid and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You know what another primal fear is in? You used to use these effects on your videos that you did. Sound.
Oh, I still do.
Right. So we know there's certain frequencies that make people scared. But one of the things that scares me is like the Sudbrink tales where there's phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
And hearing something otherworldly. Mm-hmm. Now, I sent you 2 videos. If you've got those, I believe.
I do.
And the one called Play First.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. This is where a whole town of a fair size, and you can hear the traffic in the video, heard and recorded the sound of a UFO that they were all seeing.
What?
It's an actual recording of the sound of a UFO that this entire town saw.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I want you to bring it up. The video's nothing special, but the sound is interesting. He's going to explain it a little first, and then you'll hear the sound. Now, there's some parts that's drowned out by traffic. Mm-hmm. But when you hear it, I want you to pay attention to the sound, because the second video you're going to find particularly interesting.
The cloud level was about 1,500 feet. And the time was about 11 o'clock. And this noise started up all over the town, fairly large town, and people heard it all over the town. Went on for about 20 minutes. Now, it wasn't possible to see if there was a craft above, but there's a very interesting postscript to this event. Okay, so what I'll do is play you a few minutes now of the sound that was recorded actually by a student. His father came and said, "What's that noise?" And he quickly popped a microphone out of his bedroom window.
That is weird.
Now, there's a couple things with that. Number one is this was before car alarms.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything like that. Number two is a lot of movies try to emulate this sound for their UFO sounds. And I always wondered why.
Yeah.
The UFO sounded like that, because a lot of it was based off of this actual recording that was quite big news at the time. And the third thing that's interesting about this is it almost, how they used to try to emulate it a lot of times was like flutes and stuff like that.
Well, they got that musical instrument that's on like that thing and they swing it around.
Right. So that's, I mean, that sounds a lot like that too. But wind instruments in general.
Yeah. My son, there's he had a concert
Right.
When school was still in session. And in that concert, they did a song that was about UFOs.
Oh, really?
And they had that instrument or whatever that you spin around.
So someone was probably trying to emulate that sound. That's sort of like the origin of that. But interestingly enough, the guy talked to a bunch of people later on, and this is the sound that was heard at Rendlesham Forest. This was the sound that was heard at a lot of things because they don't very often talk about the sound.
Yeah.
But there's usually a sound. One of the things that I came across also was, I don't know if you played it in yours or not. But remember we had that one with the dispatcher that we really liked and the UFO all around town? Well, one of those people had recorded the sound of the UFO, but it was cycling up and it was more of a very deep version of that. Did you play that? I think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So there was that one. But open up the next one and we'll 3, 2, 1 this as well. And I'll tell you in advance why you're going to find this one interesting. You talked about this event where all the children saw the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I want you to hear, when we get to it, what the child said that they were hearing that day.
Okay.
Something scared you, is that right?
Yes.
What scared you?
The noise.
What noise?
The noise that we heard in the air.
You heard a noise in the
Yes.
air? What was it like? Like a roar or a buzz or a hum or what kind of a noise?
It was like someone was blowing a flute.
Oh, wow.
So isn't that interesting? And all the kids said that too. They all supported each other, just like you said with their story.
I didn't hear that part. I didn't know that it sounded like a flute. That's crazy.
Yeah. So a lot of people have recorded this. The thing that kind of scares me more about this is I don't recall ever hearing a sound really like that other than in movies. But where I had those like weird experiences with sleep paralysis and the UFO things. There's something inside me that feels like this sounds very, very familiar for some reason, but I can't pull it to the forefront of my mind.
You know why that is?
Why?
Because they took you up in a craft and took that memory. They suppressed it from you, Nick.
We've said that before, and one day I will get hypnotized.
Heck yeah, I want to know what you saw.
But you know how the sound of roaring lions and bees and stuff like that bring out a primal fear?
Oh yeah.
That sound in the first video sounded so familiar to me, and it gives me chills, like it gives me anxiety hearing it.
I just want to speak directly to YouTube right now. When we bring this glorious moment where Nick remembers through the form of, what do they call that?
Hypnotism?
Hypnotism. We're not publishing that on YouTube. That'll be exclusive on our Spotify, our Google, those that did not abandon us.
Google's YouTube still.
Oh.
Apple.
Who did we just sign up with yesterday, Nick?
Amazon, most beloved company.
Google can't have it and YouTube can't have it. You'll have to follow us on the 3 that did not try to destroy us.
That's right. The only way you'll get it. This is the money symbol.
Little money. And you know what else this is, Nick?
What?
The sound of the violin as they cry. That's right. What that is.
Cry, YouTube, cry.
Cry, YouTube.
You know what? They're wish. What we're saying about them is probably not helping our case either. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care.
I do care.
Oh.
50% of us cares, YouTube. Bunch of
That's
buttholes.
A high amount.
High amount. That's
right.
That's like half.
If a bird pooped on you 50% of the time you left your house, you'd be like,
you wouldn't be happy.
This is a lot.
You wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
You would not like it.
You realize how much that is.
And you know what the part that sucks is, Nick? My YouTube channel, I'm about to have a monumental event that's going to occur on that channel probably today.
Right. And your guilt by association.
500,000 views is what I'm probably going to turn over today.
Wow.
TikTok in the last year, 277,000 views.
Man, that's really good. And
That's
you're like
pretty
the
good.
only country where you can profit off that if you wanted to.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't even monetize any of my stuff.
I know, I know a huge ASMR YouTuber who has for the last 15 years refused to monetize.
Really? Why?
Because they don't like disruptive sounds happening during their relaxation videos.
Oh, that's a real one right there.
They have a lot of integrity. And you know what? I think they do well on Patreon, so it really works for them.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. This person has the ASMR channel is called Escape Reality.
Ooh.
And she refuses. And if they accidentally monetize her video, she takes it down. She won't have it up there.
That's a stand-up lady right there, Nick.
Yeah. That's a good moral.
You're doing a good job. What's her name again, Nick?
I don't recall what her actual name is, but her channel's called Escape Reality.
Escape Reality. We love you.
Yeah. She
Just want you to know.
She moved to America.
Really?
She was living in Germany. And what she's been doing lately is she moved to somewhere near the Appalachians, Appalachia, or whatever you call it. And she's been reading scary stories and legends from there lately.
Oh, wow.
As part of a relaxation series.
Well, we love you.
Out. Yeah, she's awesome.
She's awesome. I don't even know who she is. Never heard it before, Nick.
Yeah.
But hey, she sounds like a stand-up person to me.
Yeah, she's a spooky person like us.
We say good things about people that deserve it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Like that's got to take some willpower because that would be super easy money for her.
You know how much money that would be, Nick? Yeah. Good night. Especially with that retention rate. Like, people's watching all the way through.
Yeah.
Whew.
You know what else she does? You're going to think she's a saint.
Yeah.
She uses a lot of her Patreon money to buy food for homeless cats.
Saint.
Can you imagine?
She's a doggone saint.
Saint of cats and Halloween.
Yeah. Wow. We need to befriend her, Nick.
Maybe. I mean, she's in your country now.
Maybe not. But listen, you don't want to associate with us. We're in trouble on YouTube.
We destroy YouTube channels.
Yeah, we destroy them.
It's not on purpose. This isn't a threat.
You know, the funniest part of that whole thing is, Nick, there's been times where we're like, you think we'll get in trouble for this?
Yeah.
And we're like, man, I don't know. Like, I don't think so.
It came
and we never got in trouble for it. The one video where we thought we were safe.
I know.
That was the one.
And that's from a robot mishearing us. That's crazy.
That's the craziest thing ever.
But anyway, it doesn't matter because like we were talking about earlier, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, they're really treating us well. Now, the other factor could be too, that maybe our voices are more pleasant than our faces.
That might be what it is. Listen.
Well, I'll speak for myself anyway.
Oh, no. Listen, we got to take both of us on this one, Nick. Trust and believe. Maybe we just need to put a black screen up.
Yeah. I'll just have this curtain in front of me instead of behind me.
You know, someone said something the other day that really ticked me off. I was so mad. And I love this channel. Right. Love them to death. And I was so mad.
No.
I've never been so mad, I don't think, in my entire life, Nick. And that says a lot because I don't typically get super mad.
This must have been bad.
A channel that I watch all the time.
Right.
He does reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to see who it is. I'm going to see if he put in something.
He poorly reviewed the game.
Nope. Wasn't anything even remotely close to that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Man, he reviews like all this stuff and then he like buys it. Like they don't send it to him. Like he legit buys it.
Yeah.
The heck is the name of that? Well, I must not love him that much, Nick, because I can't remember what his name was.
You're traumatized and you've blocked him from your mind.
I legit, his last 3 videos said I wasn't interested.
This must have been bad. You got to tell us what it is.
I've not been that mad in a long time.
Holy
If I put
mackerel.
reviews up, I bet it pops up. And I think reviews is part of his name. He's like the biggest one. And I've been following this guy forever. Here it is. Freaking Reviews is the guy's name.
Freaking Reviews. Okay. What does he review? Technology?
Everything.
Everything.
It could be something that was on Amazon. And typically what he does is he reviews a product that he buys. He's known, I think, predominantly for as seen on TV products.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I started watching him. So he's got this new podcast that he came out with. I'm like, I'll listen to this dude's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I start listening to it, and he was talking about things that made him mad on YouTube.
Right.
You know what he said makes him mad, Nick?
What?
Anybody that uses AI video.
Oh, he's one of these guys.
His exact words was, if I see a video as soon as I start it up, like if I go to watch it and I really want to watch it, and there's an AI video in it, I downvote it, and then I click to never see the channel again.
Oh,
so he's not even giving it a chance.
He's hurting himself, mainly.
Here's the thing that annoys me. As someone who uses AI video on my personal YouTube podcasts, I don't use AI video just to fill in spots.
Right.
I use AI video to move the story along so you can visually see something. It'd be like someone saying, I love cartoons, but I don't want to see the cartoon in it because if there's a cartoon in a cartoon, I don't want to watch it.
Right.
Well, then it's called a story.
Yeah.
And it made me so mad because he said he never watches it. The moment that he sees a AI video, he downvotes it and then makes it to where he can never see the channel again. And listen, I get it to a degree.
Right.
AI video has saturated YouTube. And if I'm similar in a regard, if I pull up a video and I hear an AI voice, and it's the entire video, so it's just some narrative voice, someone probably took a script off AI, I almost always click it off. I never watch it. And the reasoning is not because I think it's low quality. That's not it at all. AI does these hallucinations, and I don't want to watch something where I'm like, this is probably not even true.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, here's a great example. I love the show Duck Dynasty.
Right.
Love it. The Robertson family, I find them amazing. I know a lot of people, it's controversial. They don't like them, whatever.
One of
but
them
I love him.
Died recently.
Phil Robinson, the patriarch of the household. He just died like 2 weeks ago. But anyway, they had this thing that was talking about Phil. Pulled it up, heard it was an AI voice. And I'm like, okay, whatever. They had clickbait title and a clickbait thumbnail, but I wanted to know what it was.
Right.
Listen all the way through, 3/4 of the way through the video, hallucination, because I know everything about this family.
Right, right.
And it said his kids, and 2 of them was his grandkids, and the other one was his brother's wife. So it's not even their kids. And I got so mad because, and that was, it probably wasn't even 3/4, probably like 60% through the video. And the other stuff is like, it was clearly wrote by AI, but I'm like, I just want to find this one part. And I got so mad. That was the only video that I've clicked, don't recommend this channel again.
Right.
Because at this point, I know you're just going through AI. And listen, again, we can die on this hill, period. You go to a movie, you see their CGI and you go, I don't ever want to see a movie from this movie studio again because they use CGI.
Right.
That's stupid. At least embrace it. But the fact that he doesn't even give it a chance, he downvotes the video, which honestly, thanks for, as a YouTuber, I would assume he would understand that that's still an impression.
Engagement.
Like that. It doesn't matter if it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It helps us. Like, okay. Moment of truth. Sometimes if someone leaves a rotten comment, I'll leave one back. Right. The only reason I do it is because I know they'll fight me.
Right.
And the moment they do that, it helps the video. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's just interactions.
It's all that engagement game, really.
That's all it is. And YouTube's like, oh, they're talking. It's like as much as, because at this point I'm like, if you're going to be a butthole in comments, I'm just going to farm it to get as much interaction out of it as I can.
I'll tell you how I feel about what he's doing. And you made a good example of it, like CGI in movies.
Yeah.
As like my greatest choice is horror movies and that kind of thing.
Yep.
CGI in a horror movie, I don't prefer it.
Yeah.
I don't like it as much, but there's still very good movies that have CGI in it.
For sure.
I love practical effects.
Yes.
And the best movies use them, but there's still practical effect movies that are very bad.
Right.
So I'm missing out on a lot of stuff if I say I'll only watch practical effects. I'll only watch CGI. And that's the problem.
Well, see, and here's the thing, right? It's like I said, I don't know, a few months ago, I was talking to someone else. I said, there's such a fine line when you do like what we do. Well, I guess more so what I do. We have a different format now, but like if you do what I do, which is storytelling,
right?
You can either sit there and stare at my mug the entire time and I try to pull you into your own imagination, or I can create some visuals to help push you through that story.
Right.
I would always choose something with a visual. I think there's a few that can pull it off, like Mr. Ballin, but even Mr. Ballin, I've seen him use AI pictures in his stuff. So
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you have tons of money, you should be hiring artists, but I mean, but inherently,
who has that kind of money with it? No one has freaking reviews' kind of money.
Right.
Or time to do that kind of stuff. Here's what he doesn't understand. And I think this is what really ticked me off. I think I've got a podcast I'm going to try to put out this week.
Right.
I want to go back to like a weekly cycle, but I'm going to have 1 week that has less story and another week that has more.
Right.
Then short, long. That way I'm getting like one a week. But this video has 15 minutes of me talking. And I'm probably going to extend it out to probably realistically 18, 19 minutes by adding some B-roll, some sound effects. And, but here's what he doesn't understand. For that visual footage, for that 5-second video clip, most of the time 5 seconds, I may work on that for 20 minutes just to get that 1 5-second scene. Because what he doesn't understand is you just don't type a prompt in and it doesn't just spit out exactly what you're envisioning the first time.
Right.
If I was to guess what percentage it actually does that, maybe 5%. I would say if it takes me 2 times to get it, probably realistically 20%.
Right.
5 or more renders, that's probably the bulk of it. And it's not instantaneous. Like when you put a prompt in, or typically what I've been doing here lately is creating a mid-journey image.
Right.
So I'm doing that first, and then I'm throwing that into an AI video generator. And then there's the, 10% of the time it doesn't even do it even remotely close to what you put in there.
Right.
Now Mid-Journey does have now where you can create some video, but the extension's not working right. So
I see. I've not tried that part. The regular part's fantastic, but
it's amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely
amazing. I'm hoping that Sora will eventually one up their game. I feel like they're kind of behind everyone right now.
Yeah.
Because like VO is kind of killing it right now, VO3. And even the last one, Halio, which was Minimax, they have an amazing AI tool. But the moral of the story is there's a lot that goes into that little section of video. Right. What might be 20 seconds of video may have taken me an hour to create. So a podcast episode, here's what people don't understand. It takes me like that 15 minutes took me 2 hours of recording. So that's 2 hours of me recording.
Yeah. It doesn't just happen one take all the time. Like,
oh, heck crazy. No, dude. If you know how many times I've recited something and then sat back and went, I don't like the way I said that.
Yeah.
Then I record it again and then I screw up a word. Like I may have like 3 paragraphs. I screw up a word, or if I stumble over a word, I do a retake. So 2 hours turned into 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I master the audio. I've got kind of presets for me and you at this point.
Right.
But to master the audio is probably 30 minutes. So that's 2.5 hours.
Right.
And then I edit the video. Mine and yours is quick. AI does that for me now. It does all the camera flips.
Yeah.
But I still like do a little bit of color grading. I add some contrast. I do all that stuff. But my videos to edit that 2 hours into 15 minutes, that's probably like an hour and a half, probably.
Yeah. You spend a lot of time on these, and he would downvote you.
Correct.
And throw it
and then
out.
make it where he never sees my channel again. And listen, I don't say a lot about my channel. I really don't. Like, I really try to minimize how much I talk about it, and I try not to make a big deal out of it. I had this sweetheart of a comment, and when I read this, I have one follower on YouTube that every single video that I put up, she is so nice. She's always excited to see him. It's so awesome because, you know, we put a lot of work into these. I mean, one podcast for me takes like an entire week. And she put this comment, and it made me feel really good. Like, I even told Jess at the end of it, I'm like, man, like, this is the kind of thing that makes you want to keep doing this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? She put this comment. She said, "Thank you for another great story, and one that I've not heard of before." Her name's Michelle Welsh. Michelle Welsh, 2274. Yeah. But I just responded back. I'm like, hey, thanks a bunch. I'm stoked that you like it. I have a huge interview coming up soon. Don't miss it. And she responded back again, and she goes, "Oh, I'm intrigued. Your videos are awesome. I don't usually comment, but I know it helps the YouTube algorithm. I also have been leaving comments in other videos that I watch mentioning your channel. Like, I love your channel. You're one of my favorites, along with, you know, Retraced Echoes and Mr. Ballin." So she's putting me in with like Mr. Ballin, which that's really like cool. That's like the biggest compliment I think I've ever received, because I'm a big Mr. Ballin fan. Like, I love Mr. Ballin.
Yeah. Oh, he's fantastic.
Fantastic storyteller. You know what I think I like about him? It's not all that fluff and filler. And I'm trying to even get better with mine, like taking out some of the filler stuff.
Right.
Just because I feel like it will help with retention to take some of that out. But I don't know, like, we do all this, but then it makes that one whole week that I worked on something worth it. Yeah. And what other people don't think about is then you're doing thumbnail creation. You're uploading it onto your channel. You're uploading the audio to all the distributions. You're creating the title, the SEO optimized description. You know, then you're creating shorts, and then you're uploading all the shorts. People have no concept of what goes into any of this.
It's pretty wild. And that guy's like literally throwing out the baby in the bathwater.
Correct.
But you know what? One person who comments nice like Michelle does.
Yeah.
That's not worth 1,000 of that guy.
Oh, for sure. It just really disappointed me, because I kind of look up to the guy. I'm like, you're kind of like one of the guys that I look up to. Like, hey, you've done an amazing job on YouTube. Love what you do.
Right.
But then you know what it really made me think of?
Right.
All the people that I watch them for what it is that they do. And I love what they do.
Right.
But then they go off of what they typically do, and they either start a podcast and they talk about their IRL life.
Yeah.
One that really was ticking me off for a long time, and this is why you and I have this rule, and I think we both agree with this.
Right.
You know, when the elections was coming up like 3 election cycles ago, and everyone's like, "You're a part of the problem if you don't tell who people to vote for," and blah blah blah. If I go to YouTube, I don't go to YouTube for people's political advice.
Right. I mean, who are we to give that kind of advice anyway?
Exactly.
We're a couple of spooky dudes having a good chat. That's all.
Correct. But that's exactly what it felt like is, well, if you don't do this, then, and I sit there and I think you alienate at a minimum a portion of your audience.
Right.
Like, keep your opinions out of it. When someone comes to any of my stuff, I just want them to sit down, chill, and have a good time.
Yeah. I think people are under the mistaken impression that I want what's best for other people anyway. So they definitely don't want my opinion on that.
It was amazing. I don't know. Yeah. That really frustrated me, though. Like, that's the maddest I think I've ever been. Like, I didn't block his content. I didn't unsubscribe to him because that's petty.
Yeah. I mean, he's not even going to notice anyway.
No.
It would just be doing what he's doing, denying yourself something that you might enjoy.
Correct. And I just thought to myself, you know, I may never listen to his podcast again, because if that's your opinion on that, what else is going to tick you off? And then I'm not going to watch your content for a stupid reason. You know what I mean? Like I'll just stick to watching your reviews, but it really disappointed me. Like it kind of reminds me of, remember when Elon Musk, when they did that interview with him and they was talking to him and they said, are you disappointed that the astronauts, don't want your help and advice with blah, blah, blah. And he sits there and you see the tear form in his eye.
Yeah.
And then he talks about how they were his inspiration for doing this entire thing and they won't even allow him in. Like, that's what it felt like to me, is from one creator to another one.
Yeah.
And I try to put a good product out. Mm-hmm. The fact that you bash what I do.
Right.
And I put hours into this. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. It hit me wrong. It bothered me.
Well, I mean, like I'll probably never be famous for anything, but I'm going to be, if I ever am, I'm going to be very mindful that I don't ever discourage anyone trying to do what I'm doing. Right. Even in my regular work day, like I go out of my way not to discourage people, even if they're doing something foolish or what have you. I don't ever want to make them feel like they should just give up. I don't ever want to put someone in that position.
My entire time in content creation, in my own mind, and maybe this is just me thinking better of myself than what I should, but every single time in content creation, I've tried to take other people that's not necessarily at my level and pull them up.
Yeah.
I did it when I did gaming streaming. Mm-hmm. And the sad part was the people that I tried to do that with, their content was just as good as mine. The only reason that I think a lot of people watched me is because I say and do stupid stuff from time to time, just because it's fun.
Well, see, my opinion, because I was around for a lot of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't creating any content. I was just a lurker.
You was a user, Nick.
I was a user.
I was
a contributor,
drug pusher.
Dude. I was a contributor. Yeah. I was like giving and not asking for
that is true
in return.
That is true.
Really.
That's true.
What I was given might have not been desirable, but I was still giving it.
It was good. I liked it, Nick.
But the difference is that you could entertain people on your own. The other people were good at it as part of a group.
Yeah.
And I think they were just learning how to entertain people on their own. And they may be very good at it now.
They could be. Yeah. And occasionally I go back. Mm-hmm. I go back and I watch and I see what they do. The biggest problem with streaming, and it happens all the time, is people, I'm sure you watch Talladega Nights, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you've got Ricky Bobby sitting there and he's doing the interview, and then all of a sudden his hands start coming up. And they would push his hands back down. And then as he'd continue talking, his hands go back up. That's what happens when you stream, because you sit there and like, you don't know what to say and you don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Now, what I learned, I can't even remember who I learned this from, but they said, if you don't have anything to talk about, talk about what you're doing.
Right.
Talk about what your thought process is or why you're doing something. And I started doing that. And then what I found was, as I went on, then it was, I'm jokative in nature anyway. So let me make fun of this situation or make fun of myself in this situation. Most of the time, the people that I played with, I set up their content to where I look dumb and they look smart, just so my audience and their audience would get a good laugh.
Yeah.
Nick and I, we watched a collage of videos that I used to make. This is a few weeks ago.
It kills me every time because we periodically come back to these videos.
We do. It was so dumb.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious to watch. But for anyone that doesn't know, when I stream, I kind of take this, what's the best way to put it? It's like a animated, more extreme version of myself IRL. And a lot of times my voice gets super high and I get super energetic. Like, oh my gosh, that's just me. That's what I do. But we played this game and it was called Grand Theft Auto 5.
4. And 5. Yes, that's right. 6 is coming out.
Yes. There's a lot of things that I'll pretendingly laugh about. One day, Nick and I are driving down the road and he slams into me at this ungodly speed in the game. And I start laughing so hard IRL, I legit cannot contain myself.
I was having a hard time apologizing and not choking on laughter because I wasn't doing it on purpose. I swear to God, I was not.
It was happening, and it happened so often. And we used to play with this guy. His name was Luigi, super funny guy. And I think he got so annoyed. He's like, Nick, you're killing him. Like, I could tell he was annoyed because he was a streamer too. And I couldn't stop laughing. Like I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
I didn't realize that, like different cars handled differently. So I was like, oh my God, I can't control this.
Oh man, maybe I'll find a little clip to throw in this so people can have a good laugh.
We revisit it every, like, I'd say once a year.
Probably once a year.
And it's just as funny as the first time.
Because it's literally right down the street in a strip mall.
Your car is fast.
Yeah, until I hit things with it like that.
Gotcha. It's not. That's why they say leave 3 car lengths between cars.
How much you doing again?
I think you missed your tail lights out.
I'm crying. That was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. What are you doing, you crazy person?
I'm just trying to go.
Oh my gosh. I'm crying. I can't even see. Oh my gosh.
He's just laughing at my substandard driving.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I actually didn't mean to do that.
Did you lose a tire? There's a tire in front of my car. Here in front of your car is jacked, bro.
Oh yeah, I probably got blue paint all over it.
Oh my God! Oh, look at when you turn your wheels. Turn your wheels. Oh, turn them.
You're killing him, Nick.
That's awesome.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. All right.
You glad you got GTA now?
It's worth every penny at this point. Every penny. Oh.
We also revisit from time to time the Bigfoot game that we played with Sniper.
Yeah, we got to do that again for real.
We need to do that IRL. You know, there's a guy that reminds me so much of Sniper.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what Sniper looks like.
Right.
But it's who I would imagine Sniper looks like. And he has almost the same voice. His name is like Tyler Tube.
Oh, okay. Now Sniper is like he's a good solo entertainer as well.
Yes, he is. He's really good.
Yeah.
I don't think he streams much anymore. He had the last child and then he kind of dipped out a little bit.
He's got like 10,000 kids. He's busy, man. Plus there's scorpions in his lights.
Oh, that is true. I forgot about that.
Like
I do remember that.
Get caught in those little light bubbles.
The little bulb lights.
That's terrifying.
Man, we used to have so much fun doing that though. Good night. We totally need to do like a night where we just do like maybe like we do it live or something.
Yeah, I'd do
like
it
a channel
live.
or
Let's
something.
hunt Bigfoot live.
That would be a blast. And it fits with what we do.
Yeah.
Maybe we can sweet talk Sniper into doing it.
He'll do it. He'll come back for that.
I bet he would.
Yeah,
I bet he would.
too.
It's been forever since I did. There's a part in that. I think we played the video actually.
We did.
And it's so funny because lightning would strike.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just hear Sniper lose his mind. And then it would scare me. I ended up dying from falling off of a tree. This is all so bad, man. Golly.
I don't know how you guys end up dying like that. It's always me on my own and I don't like it because I'm not the best reaction gamer kind of thing.
But see, listen, you had one of the best moments in that entire stream, Nick.
I know. It didn't feel good at the time.
It just needed a little assistance. just need just a little bit of assistance. Your boy Bert came in and helped you out and have a funny moment.
That's right. I had to change my pants immediately afterwards. But
oh man, that's such a good time.
Oh yeah.
Well, for those of you that's listening, I feel like we at least got to give you one story instead of us sitting here complaining about stuff. You got some good stuff from Nick. I'm going to give one story that I found interesting, and then we'll close this out. That way we're not too far over an hour for you.
I like story time.
So this one is a story that I ran into. It's actually, I found it. It was a TikTok video. It's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't necessarily know the video's worth necessarily showing.
Right.
But it was basically a deathbed confession is what it was. And what it was back in 2002, there was a military police officer and he was stationed at Cannon Air Force Base in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Everything happens in New Mexico for some reason.
It does. It really does. But he shared a confession with his son. It was his son that was talking on the video for TikTok. And he did it for that. I can't remember what that alien guy's name was. It was the same guy that was sitting with Bob Lazar, I believe, on the Joe Rogan episode. I can't ever remember that guy's name. But anyway, he was recording the video and he was battling terminal cancer. Like it was a no-win situation. And anyway, he was talking about, and we've talked about this item a few times, and it's the moon landing.
Right.
And I can't remember where you fell into this. Do you believe we landed on the moon, or you believe we've not landed on the moon?
I believe we've landed on the moon.
I'm really dying to know those in the comments. If I do this as a short also, put in the comments before I recite the rest of this if you believe. No one's going to do it. And here's why. They're going to wait until I tell the story and then they're going to put their answer, but whatever. If you're a real one, okay, if you're not like freaking reviews, okay, put in the comments if you think we landed on the moon and then go back.
I do want to say one thing though.
Yep.
There's some things that do make me skeptical.
Okay.
Like the X's being underneath certain things.
They try to explain that away, but I don't necessarily know that I believe in it.
But overall, I am a believer. But anyway.
Well, anyway, according to the dying man's father, there was a project. It was called Project Slam Dunk.
Okay.
And he said that back in 1968, when he was stationed at Cannon Air Force Base, there was 2 massive airplane hangars that was combined together. They basically made it to where they built them. And then there was this thing that went over between the 2. Inside the hangars was a massive canvas tent. And the massive canvas tent had framing poles. And the whole point of it was to conceal work that was going on behind it.
Okay.
Now, beneath those coverings were flatbed trucks that was carrying in a disassembled lunar lander. I think you know where I'm going to go with this.
Yeah.
He described hundreds of dump trucks that was delivering sand, rock, and cement powder. And the entire area, they created a landscape to look like the moon.
Okay.
So they end up assembling this lunar module, this lunar lander. And when all of that was done, he basically, the father swore that the NSA, that he was forced in like secrecy. He couldn't say anything. They basically said, hey, if you tell anything, and it was the entire crew, it wasn't like it was just him, that he would be imprisoned for the rest of his life and he would die in a prison cell. But when he was dying, he went to his son and he said, hey, I watched the moon landing air on TV. He started crying and he said, the sad part was that was exactly what we filmed inside that hangar.
That would be sad.
And he said the thing that bothered him was that he was a part of it.
Right.
And he kept that secret. The son kept that secret for over 30 years. And in fact, he had kept it himself for over 30 years. So 60 years had went by.
Right.
And he told his son, he said, you can never say anything. You can't say a word. But while he's
why the frig did you tell me?
Because he said it was too important not to tell him.
Right, right.
Because for years he had basically think about it. You saw this thing happen and you know it happened. And your son talks about the moon landings and all that stuff, and you can't say a word.
Right.
I mean, that would be tough.
That would be tough.
But anyway,
I would have told.
You also want to shoot all the aliens too, Nick.
All right. And that thing I sent you earlier today.
I started laughing when I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it said, I got to read it exactly as it was. It was a comedian who said it. It's, I ain't going to take any kind of credit for this. But it fits so much what we always talk about. It was
it's
from
Nick
a
to
guy
a T.
called Colin Swamp Trash Crawford. Me and my friends would have killed E.T. with hammers, I can tell you that much.
Well, the son, when he was dying, he's like, I don't have any reason to be scared anymore. My dad told me it's been all this length of time. I'm filming this video so people understand what really happens. I have no reason to tell you other than the fact that, because I'm about to die. Like, I can't even benefit. Even if there was money exchange, I'm not going to get it. Neither will my family.
Right.
He said, but we need to know the truth. As a country, we need to know the proof. And when he passed away, that's when they released that interview. And I'm like, that's just so crazy to me. Yeah. Now, does that mean that I believe we never made it to the moon? I'm not saying that.
That's a different story entirely.
That's a different story. But even Joe Rogan talks about when you watch, like Nixon was on the phone with the astronauts.
Right.
Where was the delay? Mr. President, we're on the surface of the moon. Oh, really? What's it like up there? Like, there's no delay. It's like I'm talking to you. Like, we have a bigger delay with freaking Riverside than what the moon lander had.
Yeah. I hope you're not seriously suggesting that Richard Nixon would have lied.
I know. Richard that is a shocker.
Nixon. Honest Nixon, they called him, I think.
Old Honest Nixon. That's right.
That's right.
But there was that. And Joe Rogan even talks about there's that camera that's watching the lunar module take off the moon. And they're watching it in real time. Where'd the camera go?
They left it.
Like, legit.
They left it, man.
Not only that, but there was no delay in the video feed.
This is what happened. They had the camera set up and it had a VHS in it, and they had a rope going to the VHS tape. And when they took off, it yanked the tape out of the
yanked the tape out.
And they just towed it back to Earth.
That's legit. I'm listening.
Like
I'm
those
about
cans on the back of a car just married. That's what that VHS tape is like. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, even Joe Rogan says when that lunar comes off the moon, it almost looks like it's like a cord pulling a toy off of the lunar surface.
Right.
And he's right, because it like wobbles as it goes up. Like, that's not how I picture that happening.
Yeah. I don't know. One thing I think, because we did talk about this before, and one thing I thought is I could maybe accept that that we might have faked it initially because we had to win the space race.
Sure.
But then went back after, legitimately.
Perhaps not.
Maybe. But I'm still in the believe camp.
I don't know. I think that thing's hollow, Nick. I think there are little aliens in there.
I think it is. If we clean all the dust off of it, it's like that sphere.
You know what doesn't make sense?
Why?
They say the moon has those crevices and craters, right?
Yeah.
Or crevasse.
Right.
Underneath all that rock and stuff. Like, they're saying the outside is technically harder than the inside.
Really?
Yeah. Versus
I would find that surprising.
With us, the outside is not as dense as the outside. That's why when they say they hit it with that booster and it rang like a bell for however long it did, it's because all the crevices on the inside, that the outside is technically harder than the inside. And that's not saying much because the outside's not hard either.
Right.
But here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that asteroid or the asteroid impact that's like, literally, it's like the biggest part. Like you can see it with your naked eye of the moon.
Isn't that called the Sea of Tranquility on the moon?
I think that is what it's called.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Right.
You go outside and you drop a tennis ball on the ground.
Right.
And then you drop a bowling ball on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Does
one leave a bigger impact than the other?
Yeah, sure does.
Why on the moon is all the impacts the same depth?
Because it's hollow.
If something that large that I can see it with my eye impacted that moon, like it's big enough to leave that big of an impact.
Right.
Why isn't it any deeper than the rest of the impacts?
I don't know. I think there are some parts that are deeper, but it's probably really hard for us to tell from the view that we've got. I imagine some parts are deeper.
I've got a from my telescope a few years ago.
Yeah.
I have a picture of the moon that I took.
Mm-hmm.
I took it. And I'm telling you, the impact of that, and listen, I'm a professional now.
Right.
I'm a doggone professional.
Okay.
That crater on that moon is not. It's legit not. It's the same impact distance. And it doesn't make any sense.
Well, let me just do a preliminary lookup to see what it says.
What are you doing? Looking at Google?
Yeah. Because I'm sure someone's asked this before. Like, are all craters the same depth?
Well, they're definitely not. Like you can see some of them's like small, but like they don't go as far down. Like if there's crevices underneath the freaking rock, the moon rock, as I like to call it.
Oh, this is kind of interesting.
What?
Larger craters tend to be shallower.
Oh, bull crap. Where else does that exist, Nick? Not on Earth.
I wonder if it's not related to, because it can exist on Earth. Because if something is large, and let's say it's an oval shaped, right?
Okay.
And it hits on the tip, you're going to get a deeper impact. If it hits on the sides because distribution of weight, you're probably going to get more blowback, but a shallower hole.
Let me put it to you this way. Mm-hmm. Would you say the Earth is harder than the moon?
Man, I would really have no.
If you was to
I don't
guess.
know how I'd know that. If I had to guess, like based on.
Well, think about it. Yeah. On the moon, every video that you've seen, it's super spongy, right? Like when they jump, there's all that dust and stuff. The assumption would be it's probably not as hard as the Earth is. Like the Earth is probably more dense.
Yeah, possibly.
I would say as YouTube podcast experts in the field of moonography.
Yeah.
That's probably legit. Okay.
Yeah. But like, are we talking about parts of the Earth that are more sand covered or? Like,
no.
Like a swamp would be very spongy on the surface.
Yeah. But if you hit it with an asteroid, in fact, we just found out that we had an impact, a significant impact that we didn't even, like we knew it happened, but we didn't know where it happened. We just found it. Do you know why we just found it?
Why?
There's a freaking lake. It hit and dented the Earth so much that it turned into a freaking lake.
Well, think back to the Tunguska event.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's a wide radius, relatively shallow hole too, though.
Is it though?
I think compared to the Sea of Tranquility, it's less deep than that.
I don't know about that, Nick. We about to search this. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think so, Nick. Listen.
Well, let's search it.
You know, I'm going to go straight to the most apt genius that we have as a part of our reoccurring guests on the Doggone Podcast. ChatGPT, are you awake?
I'm always always awake and ready to chat. How can I help you today?
I'm so glad you are. Listen, Nick and I are having a conversation. I think he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now. And that's hard for me to say because I love Nick. We're talking about the moon and impacts that happen on the moon. There's like this impact site that's called like the Sea of Tranquility or something like that. But the thing that I'm trying to explain is it's a little weird to me that it looks like all the impacts are about the same depth on the moon versus here on Earth. Like we had those catastrophic events that where asteroids hit the Earth and like it killed everything. Are those asteroid spots here on the Earth that has made impact? Are those deeper than the ones that hit the moon?
That's a really interesting observation. The difference between the craters on the moon and those on Earth has a lot to do with the fact that Earth's surface is constantly changing due to erosion, weather, tectonic activity, and vegetation growth, which tends to wear down or even bury craters over time. On the moon, there's no atmosphere or weather, so craters remain pretty much unchanged for millions of years, which might give the impression that they're all about the same depth. But in reality, crater depth can vary depending on the impact itself.
Well, then why is it if there's no atmosphere on the moon, why is part of the moon looking like it's starting to rust? And that's just been a relatively recent discovery by NASA.
Yeah, that discovery was super fascinating. Scientists think that the rusting on the moon is due to interactions between lunar dust, water molecules that are likely coming from Earth, and even particles from the solar wind. Even though the moon doesn't have an atmosphere, Earth's atmosphere actually extends far enough into space that some oxygen can travel from Earth to the moon, especially during certain phases of the moon's orbit. All of these factors combined create just the right conditions for a little bit of rust to form.
Or hear me out. The moon
she's not
could
agreeing
possibly
with you,
be hollow, and there's aliens on the inside of that moon, and we're seeing the rust because the metal that we can't see because all the moon dust is causing it.
That's definitely
Why
a
she
fun
laugh?
theory.
It's definitely a theory.
No worries. It's always fun to explore all sorts of interesting ideas, and the moon definitely inspires a lot of curiosity and imagination.
I'm going to need a refund for this ChatGPT because I feel like you're not subscribing to what I'm putting down.
I got some real information for you.
I'm here to roll with whatever ideas you throw my way, so no worries at all. If you've got more theories or just want to chat about something else, I'm all ears.
I'm good. Say goodbye to all the people on our podcast.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us. We'll catch you next time and have a great one.
You can't end my podcast. I'm just saying. Say good. No, whatever. What'd you come up with, Nick?
So here's the thing. The Sea of Tranquility, that impact site is, well, let me say this first because I'm going to give you a roller coaster ride here.
Mm-hmm.
The Sea of Tranquility on the moon, also known as the Mare Tranquillitatis, is not actually a sea. Duh.
Well, yeah, duh.
And has no depth in the way a body of water does. However, the crater is 1.9 kilometers deep. 1.9 kilometers deep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the deepest part. The Tunguska crater is 54 meters deep in the deepest part.
Yeah.
So the impact on the moon is much deeper than it was on the Earth. Now, the Sea of Tranquility is much larger, but it's following the same pattern, is I guess what I'm getting at.
Or,
okay.
The moon is hollow.
Yeah, I already agreed to that.
And there's aliens on the inside.
Yeah. Nah, I already agreed to that. Agreed to that.
Dang.
You won me over on that one.
Well, anyway, what says you at home? Do you think there's little green men inside the moon? Do you think there's something going on with what we saw? Did we tell a story today that has really intrigued you? I'm kind of curious what everyone thinks about if they think we landed on the moon. I'm going to be honest. I want to see how many people's on both sides of the camp on that one. But wherever you're listening to our podcast, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Make sure that you let them know that we're out here. And if you're on the YouTube machine, if you could put a comment or two to help us get out of YouTube jail would be amazing. Pretty please.
That'd
But
be
until we
nice.
see you in the next podcast, goodbye.
Bonsoir.
Oh, he went Frenchy.
The French. The French.
Them French. French
The
fries.
French dressing.